Hello, I'm Andy. I'm Carol's husband. I'm also a psychologist, so it was particularly important to me when Carol got ill, what the results were going, what it was going to be like living with her afterwards. As she said, she was the sort of person who will bore you to death telling you, or she was, telling you that she'd never had a day's illness in her life, she'd never had a day off work because of illness. She was A1. She could look down the road and read a wristwatch at 500 paces. Absolutely. Suddenly, one morning, she woke up with her arms stretched out and a line of numbness down it. Oh, just a bit of an ache. Went to work. They said, you've had a stroke. Took her to the emergency A&E at the hospital. Unfortunately, the registrar there said, you've got a slipped disc. They then handed her over to the head of the physiotherapy department, who said, yes, classic symptoms of a slipped disc. No problem, we can deal with it. The registrar, would you believe, actually offered to give her manipulation to twist her neck so as to correct it. What was actually happening was there was a cancer eating into the bone and at the same time squashing the nerves. Left side, as she said, had started to go. The right side went quite quickly in the knee. And all the time, Carol was not accepting that she was ill. These were inconveniences. So already I had some idea of what it was going to be like. That she was going to have to first face up to the fact that she had been ill. Second, face up to how serious it had been. When she finally had the operation, we were called at the last moment to go into the hospital on Friday afternoon. On Saturday morning, she was in hospital, in a specialist unit in hospital, having the tumour removed. And they said afterwards, if it hadn't been removed when it was, she would have been quadriplegic by the end of the following week. For Carol, that didn't happen. It was really difficult for her, and you can understand someone who has enjoyed so much good health, who's always thought of herself as being there, ready to do anything for anyone at any time, suddenly finding that it was difficult just to move her head around because of this metal structure at the back of her neck, literally holding her spine together. And it's been a long fight. She's slowly come to terms with the fact that she has been ill. And when she did that, it suddenly became a whole massive emotional experience in her life. It was a bit like not facing the fact that someone she knew had died, and a year or so later suddenly realizing, yes, the reason I'm not seeing them around is because they really are dead, and her health in that case was the dead body. She was still working okay. She could do this, she could do that. But when she first started going swimming, to give you an example, we only live about 2-3 blocks away. I had to go down with her so that she could lean on me when we were walking and use a walking stick. When she got into the pool, she needed my help to get in. She needed my reassurance to be there with her while she was going through the exercises and so on. And the main thing, I think, for anybody who finds themselves in the position of caring for someone who's gone through that kind of experience is you've got to be so patient. You've got to try and understand. Although it's never happened to you possibly, you've got to try and understand that they are living through something that is tremendously important emotionally. It's not just the physical bit, it's the emotional side. It's facing up to the fact that they are physically a different person, not the person who can just spring out of a chair and do whatever they want to do. They have to be a little bit more patient. They have to take things easy, and they probably don't want to. It's all like having things imposed on you that you used to be able to do without thinking twice, and now you have to think about everything and the best way to do it. And you can best help them to do that, not by telling them what to do all the time. They have to work through this and make it work for themselves. But you can be patient, you can look for every little improvement there is. I mean, initially Carol couldn't move the thumb on her left hand. That was it. That was the amount of movement. And little bit by little bit, she got it to go across there. That's a big deal. Encouraging. Remember a month ago how difficult it was to move that thumb or that leg or whatever it may be. Every little improvement, say what's happening, make it clear to them that you have genuinely seen a real improvement. To you it may be quite small. To them it's a sign that they are getting better, and they really need all the signs they can get, especially at first.